guys, so I'm currently reading the book called Outlive by Dr. Peter Attia. If you haven't heard of it or you haven't heard of him and you're over the age of 40, I highly recommend you look into it. He's been in the news, at least on my news, my feeds. I'm seeing him all over the place. I knew about him well before this, but he was recently interviewed on 60 Minutes, and I really love his messaging, what he has a lot to say. Basically, he talks about the difference between something he has coined Medicine 2.0, which is our current medical system. Essentially, it's the medical system that treats things as they come up. So, instead of looking, far beyond things like cancer or heart disease arrive in your body, it's okay, now it's here. What can we do to mitigate it? What can we do to minimize the symptoms? What can we do to help you live longer and not suffer from this disease? But what Medicine 2.0 misses is, okay, that's all well and good, but what do you do if you're living this life, in constant pain, or where you don't have energy or vitality and you can't do the things you want to do? So Dr. Peter Attia talks about this concept of Medicine 3.0, which if you follow me, you read my articles, you'll know that I'm 100% about Medicine 3.0. I just didn't know what it was called. But it's all about prevention and doing things now to set yourself up for success later on, which, is easier said than done, but it really just comes down to simple habits. He talks about the 4 horsemen of chronic diseases: cancer, cardiovascular disease, neurodegenerative diseases, metabolic diseases like diabetes, and even Alzheimer's can fall into those categories. So these are the things that plague people as they start to get into their 50s, 60s, 70s, but there's a lot you can do beforehand. And even if you're listening to this and you're already 50, it doesn't mean you can't start doing things now, but there's so many things you can do to help yourself. But one of the things he doesn't necessarily talk about that I talk about a lot is the health of your musculoskeletal system. That's really important because one of the tenets of all of these things is to eat well and exercise, and you've got to have strong muscles, especially for women. I'm going to be 47. I am definitely in perimenopausal territory, menopause in anywhere from 5 to 10 years, and I'm already feeling changes in my body. So I'm doing everything I can to make sure I'm eating enough protein and staying really strong. And the one thing that will derail that is injury or aches and pains. We get a lot of women in our clinic who are in their 50s, and the number one thing they tell me is, in the last few years, they've gained weight and now they want to lose it, and they're struggling, and they've got knee pain or back pain that is also preventing them going to the gym and exercising so that they can do the things they want to do to lose weight. That's just one example. So what I'm trying to say here is that you can't ignore your musculoskeletal health. That if you wait and try to address it when your knees are screaming at you, sometimes it's just going to be harder. It's not too late, but it's just going to be harder. So the concept of Medicine 3.0 is to get in front of things. So, at the end of the day, most of our clients do come to us when things are screaming at them. But what we do differently in our practice is we build relationships with these people, and our clients will often continue to work with us for years after because we encourage this concept of Medicine 3.0. We want to help people not just get rid of pain, but keep it gone. And then we want them to thrive. We want them to do things that they were missing out on for sure. But also we help a lot of people get back to doing things they kind of didn't think they could do. They thought it was bad for their knees or bad for their back. So I'm excited that this concept is starting to take root. I'm excited that longevity, I know it's kind of a niche term right now, or it's a catchy term right now, but I'm excited about that because I think it needs to be on the forefront of everyone's minds. I wrote an article kind of sharing my thoughts and a little bit about what I've taken from the book. If you guys want to have a read, you can click on it, and I'd love to hear what you think in the comments. Share it with friends and family if you think they'd find it interesting, and don't ignore your aches, pains, or even stiffness, okay? It's worth it to talk to a specialist who gets it. I love ChatGPT. I use it every day, but don't rely on it to diagnose you or cure all your symptoms, okay? Talk to a specialist, talk to someone who knows, and let's get you on the right track, because the most potent drug you can give yourself is exercise and strong muscles. It solves so many problems and helps prevent so many problems. So if you're not doing that, especially if you're not doing it because you're hurt, let us know. And especially if you're local, we would love to help you. Signing off, Dr. Carrie from CJ Physical Therapy and Pilates. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.